Hello, Instagram and the world. This is Jonathon Melendrez. I am Jonathon Melendrez. I am a professional ballroom dancer. I'm a wedding choreographer and winner of the Knot for 2017, 2018, and 2020. Today we're going to be featuring a gown, a wedding gown, and we're going to be talking to Zola Keller today. I had no idea how popular she was. Once I found out that we were having on the show, I just started getting all these questions. So I wrote down a bunch of questions that people wanted to know, and we're gonna get her on in just a minute. But I see my friend Nuran is on, so I want to wave to her, and I want her bring her in on the details and tell her who's going to be here today. So this is going to be quite exciting, and it's going to be a great little interview. Hey, Nuran.
Hey, John, how are you?
I'm doing great. You look cute.
Oh, thanks. I wanted to show you guys something.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me see if I can get a decent look here. Can you see my jacket?
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
Isn't that something?
That's
Uh,
gorgeous. Where'd you
I'm
get
not
that?
getting a very good view, but well, I think Zola is going to recognize this because I got this magnificent jacket from Zola Keller, and
Really?
I got this back in September, I think, of last year. My husband and I were supposed to go on our 15-year wedding anniversary cruise, and my cat got sick. One of my four
Oh,
cats got sick. So we had to cancel the cruise.
oh my God,
Um,
really?
and then I'm just going to wear this to the theater. We do live theater and opera and all that kind of stuff. And obviously with COVID, that's not happening. So I know Zola is watching, and I just want Zola to know that Zola, this is the first time I have worn this jacket, and it's for your interview, my dear. So it's
Well,
I know you've got a lot of stuff that you need to discuss with the people that are eager to hear about Miss Keller, Zola Keller. I've known her for many years. She is an amazing lady, fabulous designer. She's got a couple of store locations, and I'm sure she'll tell you guys all about it. But before I let you go, can I show her something real quick, and then I'll get off of your
yeah,
feed
yeah.
and talk to her. Zola, we've got three new styles of shoes coming out. Zola carries my shoe line.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
I wanted to show her, we've got with the bows. So this is the high heel, and this has the bow front. A lot of bows are becoming very on trend for bridal. And so for the women that are looking for a really streamlined dress, which is also very much in vogue, these three shoes, they've got the different heel heights, the low heel, the mid heel, and then the high heel, and then they all have this little bow front. But anyway, Zola, these are going to be available. They're making them out at the factory right now, and we should have them in stock. Praying we'll have them in stock in about the next 3 or 4 weeks, but it's going to depend on when we can get our shipping in. But go see Zola Keller, everybody. She carries our shoe line. She's got incredible dresses, and fabulous place to go.
Zola Keller is fantastic on Instagram. I'm encouraging people who are watching to type in with some questions and ask us anything. Ask Zola anything. If you get a chance to see her Instagram feed, beautiful gowns. I mean, it's just amazing. They're beautiful, and I can
Yeah,
see why she's in such demand.
yeah, and for not just bridal, she does a ton of special occasion. Mother of the bride, mother of the groom. People are, they're coming for shoes, of course, but I'm always getting women asking me, where do I go for a mother of the bride or a mother of the groom dress other than just going to a department store? Well, forget the department stores. You need to go see Zola Keller. She's got an incredible selection of some of the finest evening gowns that you can get anywhere. She carries some top name designers. They have a stellar alterations department. Her alterations department actually altered the gown that I have on under the jacket, but anyway, I'm not the model here today, so
Well, I
alter the thing. It's a great place to go, right down there on Las Olas.
Las Olas. Well, I have her on
Yeah.
the wings here, and I know she wants to get in. So let me see if I can bring her in. So I'm gonna cut you off, and I'm gonna bring her back on. Okay, but
Okay.
stand by, and feel free to ask questions while we're doing this.
You.
Okay.
Take care.
Okay.
Here.
All right, Zola, I see you, and we're bringing you on. You don't have to touch any buttons. You're okay. Just come on here, and let's talk about.
I did
Zola!
it.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm more excited I did it. Okay. I didn't think I'd do it, but okay, I'm here. Way.
You
Oh
look
my
fantastic.
God.
You look so much better than wearing the mask.
Yes. Well, I was in the store yesterday. Must wear a mask. Oh my. Yeah.
I'm glad you're on. I'm glad you're on.
Tell Angela. See, I call her Angela. Thank you
Yeah.
very, very much for the great introduction. I couldn't have said it any better myself. And I love the shoes, Angela. I have to see them in real life.
Once the word got out that you were coming on our stream live here, we just got so many. I got so many questions, and people just want to know all kinds of things.
Okay.
So I know you're located in Las Olas. You want to mention anything first about where you're located?
Okay, so I am in the downtown section. Las Olas, if you're not familiar, of the Fort Lauderdale, the downtown section. And I have my main store, which is where I'm at, and I do a lot of the custom work and, and the special occasions and bridal. And then next door to this store, I now have an outlet store. So we opened that about a year ago. So,
Wow.
it's things in my store that we've moved over there, if they're discontinued or something, but good buys if you're looking for good deals.
Yeah. Now, I wanted to ask you, do you mind giving out your phone number? I mean, I know there's people
No.
going to contact you directly, email, and for the people who just want a direct connection with you, because I'm big on phone numbers and just calling direct. Are you feel comfortable giving out your phone number?
I'm going to give you the number of the store because that's where I am 6 days a week. So it's 954-462-3222.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I got a list of questions here, so hold on. I'm going to try and read my own handwriting here.
Uh-oh.
The first question that I have is, what is the new norm for gown shopping? What should brides expect? Can they still bring an entourage with them, knowing how this works?
Well, when people say what's normal today, whatever normal is.
Yeah.
I've got, a list of things that I have to do to stay open and I don't get fined. So it's no more 20 people coming in with the bride. It is the bride plus 1 or 2 guests. That's it. They must be masked and they have to be, COVID real, that they know what they have to do. And no, so far we've been open a week now. So far I haven't had any resistance. Oh, maybe one.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, I greet them at the door with the mask, and I look at them, and if they're not wearing a mask, I go no mask, goodbye. I can't take you.
Good for
I'm
you.
really strict. I don't want to get sick either. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So I don't want my sales help either to get sick.
Yeah, absolutely. Good for you, and good for you to sticking with the rules so that none of this spreads. There's so many sad stories out there that people are hearing, and we all have our sad stories.
You're right.
But I'm glad you're doing that. Speaking of that, the next question I have onto the first question was, what protections are you have in place that are trying on a dress that other people have tried on?
Someone else asked me that before. What we do is that we sanitize the inside of the dress. So we spray the inside that's touching their bodies, and then I spray the outside with a different chemical to kill any of the virus, So, we do sanitize. After they try it on, then it goes to the back area, and it gets totally, not dry clean, but sanitized.
Right. Wow. That's good. That's good. It's good to see that you're taking these precautions.
I am. I'm, like my husband would always say, I don't want to get sick either. So, this is what it is.
Yeah.
And we're trying really hard, to maintain that.
Angela Naran types in, she says, no mask, no service.
That's right. I'm going to put that
And
on my door. When they say no shoes, no service, we'll do the same thing.
Eden Lex Bridal says, wow, that's awesome. That makes me feel comfortable.
Good. That's the point. That is the point.
Excellent. So I know you have a few questions, but let me just see if I can squeeze this one off. It says, has the time from saying yes to the dress and ordering gowns to receiving gowns lengthened at all because of manufacturing backlogs?
Yeah. It's, the world we live in now is, oh my God, we're asking, I used to say 3 to 5 months, the latest. Now I'm saying minimum of 6 months. Shipping right now from anywhere in the world is just horrendous. By the time they get through customs and, oh my God, when they come in now and they say, I need this dress in 4 months, I go, we can't do it. And they're not taking any rush orders either. So, we are saying, yes, it is not too early for 2021 at all. I'm already working on summer of 2021.
Right. Another question online says, talk about off-the-rack gowns of availability now.
Yeah. I've been selling stock, which is hanging on the rack. The front of my store is, what I would call, I guess, that everybody would understand is done in sizes and it's off the rack. So if you see a dress, it's the right size, the right color, because, that's always an issue. The mother, the bride, has to follow the color scheme. So, whatever it is, or whatever, just so everybody blends and looks good together. So if everything comes right, great. You take it and you go. They don't go, they stay, and we do the alterations. So it's much easier.
Wow. Well, that's definitely an option too.
Yeah. It's the whole thing is, this has got to end. I'm a very positive person. I cannot imagine that it's not going to end soon. I just can't. I think the worst is over, and we have to go positive. We have to go that the weddings are going to go on. If it's 10 people or 500 people, it doesn't matter. The weddings will go on, and the bride and the mom has to be dressed.
Yes, totally. Yeah, I'm looking forward for this thing to end.
Yeah.
I hope this doesn't go any further than it has to be, but maybe we can find a way to live with this, or I don't know. I don't know how to. I'm trying to get my brain wrapped around this whole thing, and every time I do, it's just I just get frustrated and angry.
Yeah.
So, I try to play my drums more often.
But it's the same. All pandemics will end, hopefully with a vaccine. I mean, I don't want to get political, but it's going to end. Hopefully not any more than it's done, but it's got to end. Pandemics do end.
Yeah, they do end, and let's hope that more people don't die and more people don't get sick. And,
right, exactly.
So, yeah, this has definitely got to end soon.
Yeah, and it really doesn't matter that if a girl, how do I explain this? A girl has been dreaming about her wedding dress since she started playing with Barbie. And that's, that dream of this wonderful gown is like inbred in her head. And no matter if it's 10 people, just like I said, or 500, she is the bride and she deserves the chance to wear a fabulous wedding gown. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
After it's all over, she can go back and have a reception for all her family and guests and back up. But right now they're still getting married. Even if it's at her mother's house or in their backyard, the weddings are going on. 10 people.
Yes.
So it hasn't stopped.
Someone had just typed photo bomb being grandma.
Yeah. Hi, Andy.
This is a toy when I feel stressed. Panic Pete. He's my buddy.
Oh gosh. Okay. She's great though. I know who she is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
She's not bombing you. No, no, no.
I love my little toy.
Yeah, there you go.
Uh, do they need to start shopping now for late 2021 wedding, for example?
Yeah, absolutely. Because we're saying I'd rather it be here in my store waiting for the wedding than to be sitting. I stress over every gown. You have no idea what a stressful business this is. You know, from the minute they order and then they start, oh my God, is it going to be here on time? And all I can say, they promised, but again, take the time, go early. It's not an exaggeration, and it takes the stress off me. So I appreciate that,
Yeah,
because
yeah. I
in
can't
40 years, I haven't missed one wedding. So
really.
yeah,
Good for
amazing.
you.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. Amazing.
That's got to be under stress because as a choreographer, when I work with the first dance,
Yeah.
it's all about the dress, and I definitely go over features of the dress that I need to know about.
Right.
Because not all of them can bring their hands up. It's too long. They're gonna trip over it.
Right.
So, I totally understand, and this pressure that you and all your people have to go through.
Yep.
And I can't imagine. I don't think I could handle it.
Many days I come home, I drink 2 glasses of wine as soon as I walk through the door, just to de-stress. So my husband says, you think you need to do this every night? I go, yep, every night.
Yeah,
Every night.
yeah.
It's better than drugs, so I'll stick with the wine.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Yeah. But, when you said about ordering, it's never too early. I've had some girls that bought their dress 2 years out, even before the pandemic. Yeah. So, they see it, they love it, they buy it, even without a date. So
2 years before, but
yeah,
how is that possible? 2 years ahead of time.
they do.
Couldn't your taste change from within 2 years?
Not that bridal gown that they've been dreaming of. No, no. One of my main suppliers is Stephen Urick and Issa Makino. And I tell you, we start with a sketch, then we get a swatch of the fabric, and then it's ordered. So you have all of this foreplay before, I don't think I should use that word, but before the dress even gets started. So all that I do takes time, and they are fabulous. My gowns from him are just fabulous.
Wow. I'm looking at the 2 dresses. If wedding gowns can't make it too hard for a dream dance.
Right. And
How much?
after the fittings, for the fitting, we make bustles. So right after the ceremony, and then the bride and groom go away, hopefully they have somebody that can do the bustle. And that whole dress is all one length. No matter if it's a 10-foot train, it doesn't matter.
Wow.
Yeah.
But the trains and everything can still be bustled for the dance, for the wedding
Yes,
dance.
absolutely. They should be. Because
Yeah.
unless they're carrying it, and how do you dance carrying it? So
Yeah. I tell you, when I do consultations with my brides, I ask them to bring in their gowns so that I can see, and I ask questions like, are they spaghetti straps? Are they gonna be glued into their dress so they don't fall out? And let me tell you, that's happened before.
oh my goodness,
It's happened before. It's happened before. So during their consultation, I'll ask them to bring pictures of the dress because that's really important. It's got to be lifted. The last thing I would want, is a bride to step on the tool, fall, or even worse, rip the dress.
Yeah.
So
my
that's why
bustles
I definitely
never fall down. So they're up, but good. So I haven't had one person complain. I've heard other brides that didn't buy from me complain, the bustle came right down. Then they didn't do it right.
Really?
So yeah,
Really?
it's not an easy feat. You got a lot of skirt back there, especially with these long trains. Everybody wants trains now down 8 feet, 10 feet. So that's a lot to bring up to make it all one length.
Are bridesmaids are trained to bustle
Yeah,
gowns?
yeah. Glass fitting. I always ask them to bring their maid of honor, and then we show them, how to do it.
Oh wow,
We
really?
actually do a lot of videos, so because and the excitement of doing the wedding and all that, we show them on video how to do it. Because sometimes it could be 7, it could be 10 hookups, so it's a lot.
I never knew that. I never knew that the bridesmaids were trained on how to bustle the gown.
Yeah, somebody's got to do it, and mom is
Wow.
too nervous, so that doesn't work.
I never knew that. That's amazing.
It's really it's part of the process, of the you got to go to someone that actually knows and has the experience to bustle, to do the right alterations.
Right.
That can make or break that wedding gown if they don't know what they're doing.
Holy cow.
Yeah, and I've got the best.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I have another question here. The list of questions that everyone's given me. What trends have you heard from your bridal clients regarding mini weddings now and larger ones later?
Just like I said, it doesn't really matter if you're getting a small wedding on the beach. She's still the bride, and she should feel like a bride, because this is a whole thing. Why this wonderful feeling that she's been dreaming of, and then to lose it. If she still feels that way, it could be that small tent. But again, when the pandemic ends, she can have her reception with the full bridal gown again. And so, she'll have the opportunity. But there should be no difference. The bride's the bride. I don't care if it's at mom's house. The bride's the bride. She deserves to be a bride. Not wearing jeans and a t-shirt, you know what I mean? She needs that look
Right.
of a bride.
Right. Wow. We've had makeup artists on this show, on this stream. We've had makeup artists, hairstylists come on, and I know that the bride is important, but she's the main person in this whole thing, and everyone really is supports her, services her, gives her, treats her well, and she's got to be comfortable. Does comfort play a role in her
No.
gown?
It's all beauty. No. I have a saying. This is really bad. It's suck it up, buttercup. You look fabulous. It's just what it is. They're heavy gowns. I mean, I've done one. Oh my God. It was literally 50 pounds. And the girl was not big. Yeah, it was down in Miami, was the wedding. I couldn't even lift it. I had to have my husband, I actually had her fiance help get that gown in a car. It was like amazing gown. But, was it comfortable? No, but doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, as long as you're beautiful. I mean, listen, women stuff themselves in those Spanx. I don't know how they breathe. I swear to God. And they stuff them in, and it's like, my husband says, it's like a sausage. You stuff it in the casing. Forget it. This is beauty. And
If the bride has to go pee, and when I got married to my wife, I felt really bad because she had to go pee the whole day without going pee or going to the bathroom. It's got to be torturous. So, is there a design feature that she can go pee, or how does that work?
lose your modesty and have 2 girls go in the stall. You go in the handicap stall, and you hold up the gown. I mean, that's the only thing you can do, or take it off, and then put it back on, which is, choice better to have 2 girls hold up each side. If it's a real big gown, if it's, a mermaid gown, she shouldn't have an issue. So no,
Yeah.
it's
I choreographed some Indian weddings, and I know their dresses are really different than American style dresses. Do you have different styles? I mean, I know you have different
Yeah.
gowns and such, but do you go from Western or different, or you just do?
It's interesting. I've done quite a few Indian weddings, but what they do, in the old days, I used to buy the sari fabric and make the real Indian dress. But now I don't do that as much. So they get their Indian gowns from India. They actually import them. It's a small community. They know who to go to, and they go, and then they come to me for the American dress. So, I mean, I've done Asian, the red gowns, they wear red.
Right.
I've done red and black gowns. I've done, in 40 years' time, I've done every color under the rainbow.
Wow, that's amazing.
There's
Yeah,
somebody on who's saying I also couldn't breathe on my wedding day. I don't know, Eden Lux Bridal, but it was like, yeah, I believe it. I really believe it.
You bring up. I'm glad you brought up Eden Lux Bridal because that's a luxury brand. If you get a chance to look up EdenLuxBridal.com,
Okay.
they do everything but the dresses. They do tiaras, they do crowns, they do barrettes, headbands, all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also a very high-end, luxurious company that deal with particular people who want things gorgeous and sparkly. So, I could see how that company could totally relate to, the high-end dresses that you design and that you promote out there.
Yeah.
I think that's fantastic. What gown trends are you seeing for 2021 collection?
Again, that it really depends on the venue is the trend. I make over-the-top gowns and I make very simple gowns. So it really, how she envisions herself, just like Angela was saying, Naran, was saying that bows are very big. I have a problem selling bows on gowns, maybe on the feet, they're cute, but on their gowns, not so much, at least for me.
Yeah.
Sorry, Angela. But I like she has sparkly, because I'm into sparkle. So all the sparkly pieces that she has that they're interchangeable, those are the ones I love, So, but I like the platform and the real high heel, Angela. I'm sure we'll sell that with the bow. So, the trends, I try to, I'm not trendy. I do my own thing, it's mother of the brides and bridal. There's no season. There's no, I have to wear long sleeves because it's cold. We live in the heat. So, the trend is my style. And I do all my own buying downstairs. Well, my store is 2 stores. My downstairs, I do all the buying. The dresses that start at $500, they're made as well. Well, not quite. The fabrics is what changes the price. So in the front of my store, in the main store, is between $600 and $800 is the norm. And in the back of my store, we start at about $1,800 and we go up from there. And that's, the beads I have hand painted, it all depends again on what she wants. So the trend, nobody knows what the trend is at this pandemic. I talk to the designers all the time and, actually as what I heard, they're not doing any fall designs at all. We're just passing over because it's too late. Right. So what I have, again, because I customize, is it's right there. I'm on point.
Wow. You mentioned locations. How many locations do you have and where are they located?
They're both on Las Olas, and the main store is at 818 East Las Olas, and right next door at 816 is the outlet store.
Oh, wonderful. Mm-hmm. Yeah, some of the people chiming in now, they want to come take a look at the store. They want to take a look at all of that. What are your hours? Are your hours any different?
No, I shortened the later. I go from 10 to 5:30. I figured when the seamstresses go home, I want to go home too. So, because normally I would stay till 6. But, so I'm 10 to 5:30, Monday through Saturday, Sundays 12 to 5. Both stores have the same hours. Because of what's going on, I'm trying to limit the amount of people in the store. So everyone is welcome, but if there's somebody in the store, I'm trying on each level, one bride at a time, 1 or 2 mothers at a time, and that's it. I'm not having any more people, in the store. So if they don't have an appointment, they can come another time, or whatever is good for them.
How'd you get started doing gowns for bridal?
It's really a long story. It's a 40-year story. I started in crochet bikinis. That's how I started when I moved.
Crocheting bikinis?
Yeah. When I moved from Chicago, I'm originally from Chicago, and I said, "Oh my God!" I came down here and I said, "How can you Chicago has the worst weather in the world, the worst."
Yeah.
So I said, I can't take one more winter. Walking down, if you're not from there, you won't know the highway. Walking because it was all snowed in, and I said, "That's it. I'm out of here." So I was divorced. I had a little girl, 2 years old, and I said, "Okay, we're leaving," and we left. And I didn't know what to do. I actually started working for a woman's store, and we would go. I'm straying off. We would go for lunch, and she would have like 2 Manhattans. I'm drinking iced tea because I figure out if I have a Manhattan, I'm under the table. So, so anyway, and she goes, "You'll see, you're in the business long enough, you'll be having Manhattans too." So, that's where the 2 glasses of wine come in. She's right. She was so right. So to earn money, I worked for her, and then I started the bikini business, and that's how I met my husband. My husband had yarn stores. And so the yarn stores, I'm going to try and make it fast. I went to SCORE, which is, this is a good thing for young people that are starting out in the world, in any profession. They're retired professional businessmen. And it's an accountant, it's a lawyer, it's, how to do business. I had no idea. So, I came in, I had a stack of orders. Now what do I do? So the first thing they said is you have to buy your yarn at wholesale. Okay. So anyway, that's how I met my husband, and my husband said, "Boy, you really can sell. Okay, let's do this." And we became partners, and then a year and a half later, we got married, and end of the story. 3 kids later.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're married going to be 46 years this year.
46 years?
Yeah. I got 10.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. I deserve it. I hope he's watching this.
More glasses of wine, please.
Yeah, there we go. Let's see. It's 12:32. Man, I might be going now. Okay.
Well, this is a great interview. I really appreciate your time being here.
Is time up? I got questions to ask you. Is the time up?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. I've always heard about the first dance. I always have. And I want you to explain to me how you teach a guy with 2 left feet and a girl who really wants to do this dance. How do you do that?
You remember the Manhattans that you were talking about, your cocktail? Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
That's how I start the lesson.
Okay. Do you give it to them too, John? There you go. That would be more fun.
Whoops. Well, in most cases, men. Let me just reach back a second here. I think it's bad. It's not a good thing that men are shy of dancing. And I get, they're I just wish more men would be more open to dancing.
Yeah.
So, but that's okay. Most men have some type of sports background, whether they play basketball, football, whatever. Mm-hmm. So for the couple coming in, I do my best to reach for that type of experience from the men. Women in general, most of them can move pretty well and listen to instruction and follow along. So in a case where a man has no dance experience and a woman has some or little, what I do is I make the woman dance more for the man.
Oh,
You
good.
know,
Yeah.
so I'll give the man, something, a strong posture or some very little that he has to move so he can look strong and be dominant on the dance floor while the bride, the princess, dances around him.
I know.
So that's usually the case. But I tell you, some cases, it very rarely the men can actually move. And I got to tell you, I had this one couple come in. They were cheerleaders. He was a cheerleader, and his wife was a cheerleader, and they had met during college doing cheerleading.
Yeah.
And I have them posted in my YouTube channel. But man, I tell you, I really took advantage of both of their abilities, and I was able to make a beautiful routine where he lifts her up in the air and spins her, flips her, and then brings her down to the floor. It was a beautiful, but it's very rarely do I get men that have that type of physical experience or any dance experience. But in the same breath, I really, maybe I'll do a video on this. Men really should dance more and not to feel too shy or embarrassed to get out and dance. Women love men that can dance, and
For sure.
the more men dance, the less one-liners they're going to need. You know what I mean?
Great. Yeah.
I always told the guys, I said, the only one-liner that you need is, would you like to dance?
Yeah, exactly. I understand totally.
That's it.
How much time is needed to train for the great first dance?
I say 3 months. I say 3 months in advance, whether they have dance experience or not. Some couples have more experience than others, but that's okay. I ask them to start 3 months in advance. Come in a couple times during the week, because the last thing that I would want a couple to happen would forget the routine, or have them look very robotic. And I always say I don't want them to look like they've had lessons. I want them to look flowy. I want them to be graceful. I want them to move around the floor. So much so that I have a styling coach that comes in on our lessons and helps the bride. And a lot of times they have to work with the men on posture and style.
Yeah.
A lot of men are hunched over like this, and so I really have to bring out the posture for them. And sometimes I have to bring out the whip and the cattle prod just to get them to stand up straight.
Yeah, I'll
I
bet.
have to bring out the heavy artillery. But 3 months in advance, and don't think that I'm going to ask you to come in once a week. I'm going to ask you to come in as much as you can, 2-3 times a week for a few months. And you know what? As a couple, they love doing this. It's a great couple therapy. It's a great couple exercise. And it brings them together at the end of the day. And they got a great, beautiful wedding first dance to match their dress.
If you can get my husband to do that, you are really good. We have to work on that.
Vodka helps.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go. So I hear you're doing virtual consultations. How do you do that?
Yes. I'm glad you brought that up, because I've been getting a lot of phone calls. I get a lot of phone calls about bridal and social dancing. So especially when it comes to my bridal, now that this whole COVID is working into my business here, I do a virtual consultation right now. So we get on Zoom, and I ask them to bring pictures of their wedding dress, and I ask them to bring in shoes, and I ask them to bring their song, and their music, their dress, pictures of the dress, and their floor plan. So in the consultation, I ask them what theme, what do you want to look like? Do you want to be Beauty and the Beast? Do you want to be Rambo and Saves the Girl? You know what I mean? What theme do you want? And so we kind of go with that. We talk about the theme. I take a look at their shoes, as a friend of Neurons,
Right.
shoes are important. So I need to see, what they're doing. Speaking of that, I get so many brides that come in that wear heels like this, stilettos, and I ask them, have you worn those shoes before? Do you know how to walk with them? And she says, no, I'll be wearing them for the wedding. I'm thinking, oh my God.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Just to go back on that, the dress is super uncomfortable, but the shoes must be comfortable. So Angela Naran on those. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, if whatever shoes that you're going to wear for the wedding day, you really need to practice with it, because you don't want to be on stilts or be on, yeah, you can't. You gotta be stable on your feet if you're gonna dance. If you're gonna do a wedding first dance, come on, So
and you
on the
notice when they wear the stilts, they go forward because that's the way the shoe is balanced. Not on Angela's, but on those. I won't name names, but those real.
Yeah, it's true. I've seen some of these brides get nosebleed on the shoes they want to wear for their dance.
All right.
It's funny. Crazy.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Yeah. But doing the dance it's a beautiful thing for them, and I really want them to be happy. So I always ask them, if there's a move that you don't like, please let me know. If there's something that you want me to incorporate in your first dance, bring it out. Communicate with me so that you're comfortable in whatever dance move, dance position that you're in. So
right, nice.
So that's it. I've been doing that for a long time too. I don't rather not talk about I've been doing that, but
I know how you feel. I usually don't like to say how long, but it does give me. I must be doing something right. So and the same with you. You must be doing something right if you're still doing it.
Yeah, I've been nominated Best of the Nut three years in a row. So
great. That's great. Great.
So something's working.
Good.
This is such a fun interview with you.
Good. I'm glad. I had a good time too.
Yeah, you're awesome.
Thank you. So are you.
My wife's gonna bug me now to come see you at your store.
Not all my dresses are uncomfortable. Only the 50-pounders. So just to tell you. No, the gown is 50-pounders, not the girl.
The dresses are 50 pounds plus?
Some. I only did 2 of those. I do a lot of Middle Eastern brides, and some have to walk sideways to get through a door. That's how big they are. So you weigh.
Oh, by the way, I've done quinceañeras too. Do you do dresses for quinces, or do you just?
I do.
Wow.
I really do. And I used to get people from Brazil who are not coming anymore, and they would just love. I would make them convertible so they could have a nice little short dress before it became fashionable, with a big overskirt. Now we do that for a lot of brides. So right. It's a straight gown, and then for the presentation, like I did debutante suits, the same thing. For the presentation is the big gown. The bigger right. The better. She has to go right. Sideways to go through the door. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
and pageants. I just did, what was the name? They're in Illinois. It was, there's thousands of pageants. And it was something to do with the Lithuanians in Chicago. And it's a presentation. I made her this big red gown. It was outstanding. I think it was on my Instagram page. I do show a lot of the gowns, simple and, over the top. And I also right. do plus sizes too.
Oh, wow. Great. Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, I've learned a few things on this conversation with you.
Me too. Good.
I never knew bridesmaids were trained specifically to deal with the bustle right. of the dress and all that.
I mean, you got to think about it. If somebody's got to know how to get that dress up, and like I said, Mom is the hostess. And so she's not about to take 20 minutes away before, they come out. When they come out after the reception, after the ceremony, yes. They have the reception line and then the bride goes back. That's when they do the bustle.
Right.
And then they present them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
And that's when the dance is, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, this is great. I know you're a busy woman, and I really appreciate your time carving out some time for me on this schedule, on this live stream show. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jonathan. Call me anytime.
I will.
Now I
will.
know how to do it too.
Yeah.
I learned a lot.
See, you're a cutting edge of technology now.
There you go. There you go. Thank you so much for inviting me. Really, I enjoyed every minute.
You're terrific, and best of luck. Best of luck to you in the business, and stay safe, stay healthy, and keep up your CDC guidelines. Good for you. I'm glad that you're sticking strong with that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Have a good afternoon. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Nuran. Oops, sorry. Bringing Nuran back in. Nuran is now my sidekick. I guess we can officially call it out. She helps me with getting guests, from asking questions to all these little things that these things need. These little live streams need. So, Angela, what'd you think about that interview with Zola?
She was every bit as wonderful as I knew she would be. I've worked with her for many, many years. She's just incredible. That interview was fantastic. I loved every minute of it. I especially loved watching you learning stuff about the dresses that you didn't know, like, for example, the bustle. It's usually the maid of honor that gets trained to do the bustle. But yeah, if someone doesn't know how to do that ahead of time, it can, like Zola said, it can be a real mess. I've been at enough weddings and seen so many girls that, that had struggled with someone being able to do their bustle. And I've had to jump in a time or two and get a dress up. So a couple of safety pins in your handbag is a good idea, just in case it doesn't work right. Zola, there's your bling, darling. I can put the bling on the new bow shoes.
Zola Keller, Instagram, ZolaKeller. Zola Keller on Instagram. What a wonderful lady she is.
Oh, she's fantastic. And her heart, you see how big and wonderful and bubbly her personality is? Her heart is just like that. She is so kind, so generous. She bends over backwards to be able to take care of her, her customers' needs. I met her many, many years ago when I was doing a charity where women were donating wedding gowns to help the victims of breast cancer. So that's how I met with her way back then. And she donated a ton of dresses for that. She may still be doing that. I don't know. I'm not involved with that anymore, but that's just an example of how good a person she is. I love her to pieces. Yeah. She's great.
Hi, Zola. We can't hear you. We can't hear you, but if you type something, we can read it. If you type something, we can read it. We can't hear you, but if you type something, we can hear it. But yeah, this was been a great interview. I can, I usually keep this 30 minutes, but we've gone, 45, almost 50 minutes conversation here. So
Zola Keller is too big for 30 minutes. She's got too much to say, too much to share, too much to give. Yeah, she needed more than 30 minutes.
Yes, she definitely deserves that much. Anyway, so thank you, Nuran, for coming in and helping out. Thank you, Zola, for your time and coming on to the live stream here. So I will say goodbye to you, Nuran, and we'll talk again later. And I will see you soon. Talk to you soon.
Y'all take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
What a wonderful live stream today. I am Jonathon Melendrez, wedding choreographer, professional ballroom dancer, and 3-time award winner of Best of the Knot. Thank you for watching, and please stay safe out there. We don't want to spread this corona disease anymore. Thank you. Have a good night. Be safe.